So you're prepping for your SSC or GATE exam, and you've hit that wall, haven't you? The 12 constitutional schedules. It's a classic stumbling block, but trust me, these are easy marks you really don't want to leave on the table. Well, guess what? Your struggle ends right here, right now. I promise that in the next few minutes, we're going to lock all 12 of these schedules into your memory for good. So go ahead, grab a pen and paper, because you're going to want to write down the master key we're about to use. Ready? Let's do this. Okay, first things first, what even is a schedule? The easiest way to think about it is like this. If the Constitution's articles are the main chapters of a book, then the schedules are like the appendices at the very end. They're packed with all the detailed lists, tables, and extra information that the chapters refer to. And it's that nitty-gritty detail that makes them a gold mine for exam questions. And here it is. This is the master key, the only tool you're going to need today. It's a simple phrase, tiers of old PM. Every single letter in this phrase corresponds to one of the 12 schedules, in perfect order. So let's walk through it together, letter by letter, and see how it works. Our journey begins with the T in tiers, and T stands for territories. This first schedule is basically India's official directory. It lists out all the states and union territories and outlines their boundaries. Now, the most important thing to remember for your exam is that this list isn't static, it's dynamic. Every time a new state is formed or boundaries are changed, this schedule gets amended. That's a huge clue for exam questions. Next up is the E in tiers, which stands for emoluments. Emoluments. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? It's just a formal word for salaries and allowances. So, this schedule is all about the money. It details the paychecks for top officials like the president, governors, and Supreme Court judges. But here is the classic exam trap, so listen closely. Who is not on this list? The Prime Minister. His salary isn't here, it's decided by Parliament. They love asking that. Let's move to the A in tiers, which stands for affirmations and oaths. So if Schedule 2 was about the paycheck, Schedule 3 is all about the promise. This one contains the exact wording for the oaths that ministers, MPs, and judges take. But, and this is a big but for your exam, there's a huge exception. The president's oath is not here. It's so important that it gets its own special place in Article 60. Remember that, it's a very common trap. The R in tiers brings us to a really important topic, the Rajya Sabha. This schedule is all about how many seats each state and union territory gets in the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of parliament. And this is a really important point. The number of seats a state gets isn't random. It's based on its population. So a bigger state like Uttar Pradesh gets more seats than a smaller one. This concept is tested all the time. And we finish the word tiers with S. S is for scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. This schedule sets out special rules for how we administer and protect certain areas and tribal communities that need special attention. Now, the key word I want you to circle in your notes here is general. This schedule applies broadly across India, which is a perfect setup for what's coming next. Now we move to the O in OF. And this O stands for other tribal areas. So if Schedule 5 was general, Schedule 6 is super specific. It deals with the administration of tribal areas in just 4 northeastern states. You absolutely have to remember the mnemonic for this one, AMTM. That's Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram. Examiners love to throw Manipur in as an option to confuse you. Don't fall for it. The F in OF stands for federal structure. And this one is the very backbone of how India is governed. This is all about who gets to make laws about what. Schedule 7 divides the power between the union and the states using 3 lists. The union list is for national things, like defense. The state list is for local things, like police. And the concurrent list has subjects where both can make laws, like education. Remember, education is on the concurrent list. It's a classic question. We've reached the second O in our phrase, and this one stands for official languages. This schedule lists the 22 officially recognized languages in India. For your exam, you need to note 2 things. 1, the current number is 22. And 2, and this trips up so many people, English is not on this list. It's an official language of the Union, but it's not in the 8th schedule. Now we're on to the word old. The L here stands for land reforms. This one has a pretty cool backstory. It was actually the very first schedule added to the Constitution way back in 1951. The goal was to protect laws about land reform, especially abolishing the old zamindari system from being challenged in court. But here's the modern update. The Supreme Court has since ruled that these laws aren't totally immune anymore. They can be reviewed. And the D in old stands for defection, a word you probably hear in the news all the time. This is the famous anti-defection law. It was brought in to stop politicians from switching parties whenever they felt like it. The person who decides if a member is disqualified is the Speaker of the House. But here's the twist. From a famous court case, the Speaker's decision isn't the final word. It can be challenged and reviewed by the courts. We've made it to the final part, PM. The P stands for panchayats. This schedule, added by the 73rd Amendment, was a huge deal for grassroots democracy in India. It officially gave powers and responsibilities to the Panchayati Raj system. For your exam, just remember, this is about rural local government, and it gives them 29 different subjects to work on. And the last letter, M, for municipalities, wraps everything up perfectly. And if Schedule 11 was for the villages, Schedule 12 is for the cities. It's the perfect pair. It was added right after by the 74th Amendment, and it does the same thing, but for urban local bodies like municipalities. It gives them power over 18 subjects. So it's simple, 11 for rural, 12 for urban. All right, time to cement this in our brains with a rapid-fire recap. Are you ready? Let's go. Schedule 1, territories. Schedule 2, emoluments. Schedule 3, affirmations. Schedule 4, Rajya Sabha. Schedule 5, scheduled areas. Schedule 6, other tribal areas. Keep going, you've got this. Schedule 7, federal lists. Schedule 8, official languages. Schedule 9, land reforms. Schedule 10, defection. Schedule 11, panchayats. And last one, Schedule 12, municipalities. Perfect. Okay, let's burn this into your long-term memory. I want you to really picture this in your mind. Imagine an old, respected prime minister. There are tears in his eyes. Why? Because he's reading a letter of an old PM, his mentor from the past. And that letter is the blueprint for the nation. It talks about its territories, the emoluments for its leaders, their affirmations, the seats in the Rajya Sabha, and care for its scheduled areas, and so on. Tears of old PM. See that story, and you will never forget the order. And just like that, you've done it. All 12 schedules decoded and ready for your exam. So here's your final mission. Make your own flashcard with Tears of Old PM on it. Look at it once just before you walk into that exam hall and go claim those marks. You've got this. Good luck.